Hey, friends. Well, second day of rehearsal, second day back in live theater. The lead showed up today, the female lead, who is arguably the actual lead. And we had it was an intense day. We did the opening number, which is always, opening number day is always kind of it's a wild ride, and particularly this opening number. If you have been watching this post for a couple weeks, you probably heard me going on and on and on and on and on about an arrangement that was doing my head in and taking so much time, and but also challenging me in these really cool ways. Well, today we got to play that song. Today we took that song off the page and made it reality. It was really cool. It was really cool. And I learned a lot about the arrangement. I made a bunch of changes. We made a bunch of changes. But overall, it was in good shape. It was in good shape. And I felt really satisfied. I was realizing after rehearsal today, because it was one of those things. We spent literally 5 hours on one song, and we're nowhere near finished. There's a whole vocal layer that we haven't even added in yet. And whereas yesterday we cranked through, 6 or 7 songs in no time. So that's why I did this on day 2. I didn't think we wanted to spend I was like, this should not be our getting to know you song. But in a way, because we built trust yesterday and we had some fun yesterday, we had played a bunch of music that we sounded good on very quickly, and that was really just energizing and super playful, super, just the kind of music where you instantly bond by making it together. After that, today was kind of like, okay, now we're going into the trenches together. Now we're gonna do one that's just, it's hard to play, it's hard to cue for the music director, it's hard to sing, and we're doing all those 3 things at once often. And I have to say, it was just so cool to feel, what I was saying a moment ago is what I felt at the end of rehearsal was, even though there was so much intricacy and plenty of stumbling and questioning, okay, how's this moment actually going to work? How are we really going to get clear here? Where does the cue come from? Does it come from me? Does it come from the music? Does it come from the actor themselves or the singers themselves, right? All these decisions that you can make them on paper, but then you have to get in a room and see if that works or if it doesn't, and what your options are. And there's plenty of stumbling, plenty of this is going to take a little while to settle in, and kind of being things being rough. But I could tell, the amount of work that I did on the arrangement and the amount of work that I did on the keyboard programming that was required to even play a semblance of what the arrangement reflected. It was all in good shape. There was stuff to fix, and there's still stuff to fix, but it was in good shape. I felt really good about it. I was like, this, I thought to myself, thank God. After rehearsal, I thought, thank God I spent all this time on this song, because I know it. I know what's there, and I was ready to, even the unknowns, I sort of knew vaguely where they were, and I was ready to navigate them, ready to handle them, and to be open to what presented itself in the space. But I was prepared for what was coming. And yeah, it was just such a thrill. It was just so much fun to feel it come to life. And the lead actress who showed up mirrored my experience because she was the lead actress on the previous production. She was the lead actress on the workshop production of this show. She showed up today and said that's the last thing she did, and that's the last thing I did. So that was kind of a fun connection that we're both coming back into the rehearsal room for the same piece almost exactly 2 years later. A lot of, it's that feeling when, and I've had that feeling ever since rehearsal ended. It's like that feeling of getting so energized. It's almost like caffeine or something, and my whole body and my mind just get hyper focused, and it's an intensity. This is what I'm recalling it. It's something that really not too many things do this to you. I mean, or at least in my life, this is one of the ones that really just, it's like every single moment. You want to talk about getting in the moment. You have to get so in the moment, and you have to get really in the moment, and you have to do incredibly contractive, focused laser beam work, and do that for hours, and then somehow find a way to relax, to let it go, to relax. I'm coming home and I'm noticing in myself the energy of like, I just want to keep driving. I'm coming home and I'm making dinner. Like it's my, like I have to cue something and we're going 168 BPM and I gotta time it at exactly the right time, and I'm making my food that way. I'm eating my food that way. I'm eating it like it's like I'm on a 4-bar vamp, and I have to just come in at exactly the right moment or make sure the drummer gets the lick. And it's like, that's like, whoa. Remember to breathe. Remember what the core of all this is. And it's not to deny that intensity or to dilute that intensity. That's not really an option. The intensity occurs if it's the right kind of intensity. I mean, sure, you can get all anxious about something, but that's not really what I'm talking about. It's more just a sort of like incredibly present, and in that sense, it's energetically demanding because it's a moment to moment laser beam focus that's required, and I love that. I think that's part of what's so thrilling about it. I think that's part of what is so attractive about this work to many people. Whether you're a music director or whether you're a musician or whether you're an actor, director, everybody kind of has their own version of that incredibly intense moment to moment work. And so, it's like, it's not about diluting it, and it's not about diminishing it. It's just about, when is that called for, and when is it not? When is the right time to put it down so that I can get some sleep or have a conversation with my daughter where I listen to her and connect to her and hear what she says about her day today, what she did. She tried to call me from the park, and I was not answering my phone because I was in the middle of rehearsal. I saw the call come in, and now I know who it was who was calling me on Bubby's phone. It was Annalise. And I think, as I re-enter this world, I think the reason I'm kind of revolving around this theme or this idea is because it's important to me to be conscious about this. It's important to me to remember that, it's really fun to feel myself go into that level of intensity, and it feels important to find ways of continuing to breathe. Meditation, Qigong, which I've maintained those practices obviously while I'm here, but making maybe even more space for that. Remembering that if I'm going to go into that level of contractive focus every day for prolonged periods of time, it's only probably going to get more intense between now and the opening of the show, because you just start doing more and more hours of it. How to keep a one leg firmly in the absolute, in the space, the ground, the openness of everything, because that's also where theater comes from. That's also where music comes from. It's not just about controlling every moment and everything kind of being contractive. That's not music. And when that's expressed, I was literally talking to a student this morning, a wonderful, one of the most amazing. I've never seen anybody learn piano as fast as this student. She picked up pieces and just, within like a week or two or three, they were memorized, and she really kind of never played since she was a kid. And I was leaning into this idea of, okay, well, so you got the technique, right? You've got the technical foundation essentially there. Of course, we can always clean it up, and there's always further to go, but that's pretty established. And so the next level really, and before anything else can really improve, we need to start defining, okay, where does our attention go? Does our attention go to all that technical stuff, or does our attention go to this melody, these melody notes that are carrying that everybody, every human being who's heard this song, which is everybody, knows? That's where the heart of the piece lies. And it's so easy to put our focus not on where the heart of the piece lies, but actually on some other aspect of the piece, especially with something that's very technically demanding or energetically or focused, like I experienced today. It's so easy to put our focus on these things that are drawing our focus. But can we put our focus on our heart, what is our heart expressing through this music, through this moment, through this phrase? If we can get there, then we're really making music, and we're really expressing something on stage. And if I can take one thing with me, if I've spent the last more than a year now, 18 months at least, if not more, really doubling down on this core practice of spiritual practice, of inner work. And I've grounded in that really deeply since the last time I was heavily involved in theater. What can I take with me that brings me to that allows me a new level of openness, a new level of expression, a new level of clarity and skill, but with the focus actually more on what's coming through. What am I allowing? That's a way to think of it. What am I allowing into the space through my body and my psyche and my heart? Because things that we allow feel very different than things that we kind of impose or hold on to. Allowing theater and allowing music. That's Those are the things that I'm going to take with me for the next couple days. So, thank you, folks. Love you. Appreciate you. Man, I'm in year 2 of this video post. Can't believe it. I'm so happy. And it's evolving by the minute. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.